Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It is Friday, the 10th day of September. It's National Swap Ideas Day.
Okay.
So if you've got any good ideas, today's a day to swap those ideas.
All right.
Also National TV Dinner Day. I always liked
It's
TV
been a
dinners.
I loved them when I was a kid.
It was, and we didn't have.
I don't like them anymore.
Well, we didn't have TV dinners a lot when I was a kid, but there's something different about them now. Now they're in plastic. Back in the day, they were in metal.
And you don't get the brownie with them anymore.
Yeah.
You used to get a brownie and
Remember when
like
they were
an
in like an
apple
aluminum thing?
Oh, yeah, and they were amazing.
And you make
Yeah.
them just right, and everything was so
Yeah.
yummy. The good old days.
The good old days.
Here's people listening right now thinking we're done. Also, I do have a guest coming up today. A living legend, Mr. Paul Anka. This guy's had so many hit songs. And now, in addition to being a living music legend, he's also a TikTok sensation. Yeah, Paul Anka, a TikTok sensation. Going to chat with him all about that coming up in a bit.
Addiction. It's not a pretty thing. Addiction can lead to many problems in your life. Addiction can drive away those who love you the most. And addiction can lead to the loss of jobs, relationships, and even your life. Don't let addiction tear your life apart anymore. Get the help you need to defeat addiction and put the pieces back together in your life. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. They want to help. Timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. According to a new survey, nearly a third of Americans have been so caught up with work and life and kids that they have not had a single day to relax alone in more than 3 months. Researchers find that 65% admit that they would like to spend more time on self-care, but they don't have downtime to make that a routine. I got to tell you, I don't remember when it was. Maybe it was a week ago, whatever. I just took a day and did nothing because I wasn't feeling that great.
Right.
And it was just really weird because I kept thinking, I have so much stuff to do. So
Right. I know.
it was tough. I was watching Columbo. That's what I was doing.
Yeah.
I've really been on
A day well spent.
it's on Amazon Prime. I've been watching it a lot. A new survey found that chicken wings topped ribs as America's favorite spicy barbecue food. So wings now have topped ribs. There you go. Surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
Do you have a credit card? We'd like to help you get a better credit card. If you don't have any credit cards, we'd like to help you too. At BetterCreditCards.com, we have credit cards that offer different things for different people. Some cards offer points. Some cards are designed to help you build your credit. BetterCreditCards.com wants to help you get a better credit card, no matter what you're looking for. See if we can help you find a better credit card at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com.
This is Your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by TimeForRehab.com. Authorities in Missouri are searching for a woman who was mistaken for another inmate and wrongly released from jail. Heidi and I actually talked a little bit about this. Sheriff, because I was saying I can't believe this would happen. Sheriff Aaron Wilson said Ellen Goebel, who was in jail on resisting arrest, burglary, drug possession, and other things, looks almost identical to another inmate that was due for release 2 cells away. They noted the woman have essentially the same hair and eye color, height, weight. When a guard, new on the job, came to collect the other inmate, he mistook Goebel for the other inmate and let her leave, basically. So a 24-year-old inmate walked out the doors, and now, she knew she wasn't supposed to be leaving.
Right.
Anyway, they're searching for the woman, 5'3", 110 to 120 pounds, brown hair and eyes. She's from the area. They're believed to still be in the area. Here's the thing, though. If they let her go, she didn't really escape from prison. She was let go. But I think that they were calling her by the other person's name, which would have been a dead giveaway that I'm probably not supposed to be leaving. So, I don't know.
Yeah, that's not cool.
We'll see what happens.
But you know what? If they're just saying, hey, come on, go. It's time for you to go.
Yeah,
Who
okay.
wouldn't?
I suppose.
It's easier than escaping.
Yeah, so that's what happens when the guard's brain is on drugs?
Yeah,
I'm
really.
not sure. But she was in there for drug possession. That's how it landed here.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. Jessica Chastain is an actress whose skin has been left with what she calls permanent damage after she transformed into Tammy Faye Baker for a television movie that she just did recently.
Oh my gosh.
So
I can't imagine.
7.5 hours.
Yeah.
7.5
makeup.
hours of just makeup time.
I'm sure.
And she
I
said it got
remember
so
Tammy
heavy
Faye.
and so hot, she became worried about her circulation while they were doing this. The film is based on a documentary from 2000 that went by the same name, The Eyes of Tammy Faye. The cast includes Andrew Garfield as Jim Baker. So anyway, she's got what she says is now permanent damage on her face from this makeup. And Jeopardy, I don't know if they've got this all ironed out yet, but they had an issue where they had somebody picked to be the host, and then they didn't want that host, and then somebody else was going to be the host, and now they have a different person they want as the host. I've got 2 stories back to back here. I'm not going to read either of them because this is probably outdated. This is from like a week and a half ago, and I think that story is moving pretty quickly, and I can't keep up. But sounds like Jeopardy is in jeopardy. All right. Big screen, little screen. Brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
At WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com, we help you get ready for all the fun holidays throughout the year with fun, silly, and just plain weird gift ideas for your friends. If you have a friend who has a bizarre sense of humor, we've got a gift for them. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com posts a link to something that will make you smile each and every day. Whether you buy these weird gifts or not, it's worth checking out just for a smile. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. A Florida woman arrested for stealing hundreds of dollars in Tommy Hilfiger merchandise can be seen in a mugshot wearing one of the shirts with the tag still on it.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't steal this.
That's hilarious.
What do you call this thing right here? Oh, that's the new style.
That's
Haven't you seen it?
hilarious.
2/3 of us are a little obsessed with where we relax. A study of 2,000 people found 66% of us have a favorite place or assigned seating throughout our home that's
I
just
do.
for relaxing. I know right
We
where you
both
like
do.
to go.
Yep. We do in both of our living rooms.
Yeah, we got-
have assigned seats. And yesterday, you were
Upstairs and
sitting
downstairs.
in part of my seat.
I was sitting in your
I know.
spot. She was downstairs. She came down. She was like, "Whoa!" She didn't really know what to do. She flashed
didn't.
what I can only assume was a gang sign, and then she sat on the other end of the sofa and wouldn't talk to me. They say sometimes it's at the kitchen table, dad's recliner, family couch. 68% say they're very passionate about their spot.
Kitchen table, we have assigned seats.
We do.
Too.
It's
we
kinda
do.
funny.
Our dining table.
55% say we feel uncomfortable sitting anywhere but our favorite spot. Why are we attached to the certain spot? 63% say we associate that spot with positive memories. I don't know if that's why. Here's why I like where I usually
It's
sit.
comfortable.
Yeah, it's comfy. And it's a place
And you've got a little table
where I
right
can
next
sit
to you.
something that I'm drinking. That's why. That's what I like. An Oregon hospital has installed a dinner plate throwing booth to provide overworked caregivers alternative stress relief. That's funny. For whatever reason, they decided, hey, you know what? How about you come down here and just throw some plates at the wall and break them? So that's what they're doing. They recommend yoga and deep breathing for relaxation, but they're also saying breaking things helps as well. So there's a nurse named Lisa, says we put on safety glasses, we take plates, and we shatter them. She said, I just keep going back until they finally tell me you've had enough turns. Somebody might want to keep an eye on Nurse Lisa. Just saying. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Early to bed, early to rise makes you healthy, wealthy, and wise. This is a great quote from Benjamin Franklin. At InsuranceChicken.com, we know a thing or two about great quotes. We help people get great insurance quotes every day. It's super simple and free to find out if we can make you healthy, wealthy, and wise. Okay, I can't guarantee that, but I can assure you we'd love to help at InsuranceChicken.com. We want to help you peck out great deals on insurance. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Super excited to visit with a living legend, Mr. Paul Anka. How are you, sir?
Fine. Thank you, John. Thanks for asking.
We're excited to chat with you. Now, a lot of folks know you because you've been doing music for just a long, long time, but there's a whole new generation that's getting to know you because of TikTok, which is just really fun to me. How does it feel to be everybody's favorite on TikTok?
As you can imagine, it's somewhat off the wall. It's gratifying. It's humbling. I guess the beauty of our industry, being around a while and trying to just stay with it, not live in the past, to have something like TikTok come along as it has. And out of it comes probably my favorite song that I've written from the 50s, Put You on My Shoulder. It's cool. When you get that kind of reception, in the modern day, the technology that's prevailed. I like it a lot, with picking up a young demographic who are, getting educated to different kind of music, if you will. So I like it a lot. I'm enjoying the whole experience.
Now, the thing that's really nice, you just recently celebrated, is that correct? Your 80th birthday, is it just recently or that's coming up?
No, I just turned 80 July 30th, and it was very cool. It's obviously the big number. And, it's funny, you in today's world, if you're living properly, you don't really feel what your age is. The only time I feel any sense of age is when you're sick.
Yeah.
And other than that, that's just what it is. You just have all that experience that you're still able to apply to everything you're doing. But thank you.
And as you look back at your amazing life, and the good news is you can continue to look forward, too, because you're still living and you're still doing some really fun stuff. But look at all of the amazing opportunities you've had over the last 80 years. Do you ever just pinch yourself and say, is this real? Is this really what I got to do for a living?
Well, exactly. I mean, much earlier, somewhere in the middle of my career, I couldn't believe that I was still relevant and doing what I was doing. I certainly, kept focused to try and achieve that, but you can't really, in the beginning, look at your life with more than 5-year increments, because of the changes that you didn't see coming. But you're absolutely correct. Somewhere in the middle, I went, wow, this is just, from my way on, and then, having your hits in the 70s and just rolling it out, winding up with, Michael Bublé and et cetera, rock swings. It's cool, because you love it and it's a passion. When you have that kind of a dynamic, you really feel differently about things, that you're fortunate to be able to do something like that. There's a lot of pinching that went on for sure.
And over the last 70 years, you had at least one hit in every single decade. And that's something that there's really nobody else that can say that, can they?
I guess not. I mean, Billboard keeps kind of music industry magazine to keep track of all that, and that's what's come up. You're not really living and existing for that. It happens if you're working, and I think with the Michael Jackson hits, having the last 3 of his, and then the other albums that I've had out, it's added up to a lot of decades.
And one of the other things that's got to make you feel really good is the number of people, when people are asking them about, who are your influences growing up, your name comes up over and over and over in many different musical genres.
Well, that's kind of cool to hear, because it certainly changed. I mean, when I was working with Drake on the last Michael Jackson song and looking at the dynamics of, how they made records, it was cool. You're not sitting around a piano anymore, and if you can influence people in your business to do better work, and, contribute to where people are really moved by it and empathetic to each other, you're gratified with that if you can pass that on to any young people coming up. Because, they're not, none of us are really born sophisticated. Thus, you get lucky, you get a gift, and you work it, but you have this tough road that you're on, just crawling there, trying to keep it going and keep it honest. And one day, maybe you wake up and get some wisdom on how to deal with it. You get to that point, you seem somewhat relieved. I mean, I watched it from the beginning, and I saw the Beatles and somewhat discovered them because they were in Europe when I met them, and nobody knew them here. When I came back and told my agents, and they brought them over, all of a sudden this industry just opened up very wide, because prior to that we weren't an accepted form. We were just a little band of pop singers, and we had our fans, and others were skeptical of us,
Well, thank you so much for your time today. I know a lot of folks, when they turn 80, they try to slow down. You've got so much stuff going on. We really appreciate you taking the time to chat.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Again, Paul Anka. I'm going to throw a link to his website so you can keep up with all the fun stuff he's up to. paulanka.com.
Addiction. It's not a pretty thing. Addiction can lead to many problems in your life. Addiction can drive away those who love you the most. And addiction can lead to the loss of jobs, relationships, and even your life. Don't let addiction tear your life apart anymore. Get the help you need to defeat addiction and put the pieces back together in your life. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. They want to help. Timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
This is interesting. There is not a single word for the spot that's behind your knee.
You know what? I've actually tried to describe that part of my body before, and there is no word
So,
for it.
like, under your shoulder, that's your armpit.
Right. So it's your knee pit.
What is the inside your elbow?
Pit.
That's like the
It's
crook
your
of your
elbow
arm.
pit.
I don't think that. So it's your knee pit. I don't
Your
think.
knee pit and your elbow pit.
But that wouldn't be a single word. So they're saying there's not a word for that. There's no single word. You can describe
But
it.
armpit isn't one
Okay,
word.
but I'm saying you can describe it, but there's not a word
Right.
for this spot. I don't know what you call it. I'm
Your
pointing
knee
to
pit.
it. Your knee, the place behind your knee. Wow, that was hard to get to. That is today's fun fact. Now you know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Do you have a credit card? We'd like to help you get a better credit card. If you don't have any credit cards, we'd like to help you too. At bettercreditcards.com, we have credit cards that offer different things for different people. Some cards offer points. Some cards are designed to help you build your credit. Bettercreditcards.com wants to help you get a better credit card, no matter what you're looking for. See if we can help you find a better credit card at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Now, RadioTravelGroup.com presents a news headline from somewhere in this world, Dateline England. And hey, just a little Meghan and Harry alert.
Here we go.
I'm just letting you know, for those of you who could care less about Meghan and Harry, come back in like 20 seconds. For the rest of you, royal insiders believe that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle will fade into obscurity over the next 10 years, like the other members of the royal family who were not in line for the throne. So good news for Harry and Meghan, Meghan.
I like
Meghan
that for her.
Markle.
That's very fitting.
For the two of them who wanted to just, get out of the limelight, the good news is, according to royal observers, royal insiders, you are going to do that. You're going to get out of the limelight. So once they're done with their tell-all books and their Oprah appearances and their made-for-TV movies and their Netflix specials and all of the things that they're doing to, stay out of the limelight, they might just get out of the limelight. But until then, probably not. That is a news headline from somewhere in this world.
At WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com, we help you get ready for all the fun holidays throughout the year with fun, silly, and just plain weird gift ideas for your friends. If you have a friend who has a bizarre sense of humor, we've got a gift for them. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com posts a link to something that will make you smile each and every day. Whether you buy these weird gifts or not, it's worth checking out just for a smile. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Now some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. This could very easily be today's moment of duh as well. It's another person going nuts at a fast food place.
This
one,
happens so often.
listen to this though. This is probably the worst of the worst. This happened in Canada, which surprises me because you would never typically associate this with Canada. A man who was so upset about a mask mandate at Dairy Queen, he got so upset he urinated on the counter at the restaurant.
That's classy.
Yeah, this is such a terrible thing. He argued with staff about this policy. Then he unzipped his drawers and urinated on the counter.
Jeez.
Says the dribbling dissenter said in the video before taking matters in his own hands.
I bet.
Blanking psychopaths.
Literally.
That's what he called them. He called them psychopaths with a fancy word before it that we can't say on the radio.
Wow.
This is the first incident of this nature, the police say. I think people should just wear their mask and be safe and polite. They are now looking for the unidentified urinator. So what in the world? That's just so weird. It is
not
today's
normal.
No, it's today's weird news.
John and Heidi.
Time now for your moment of duh, brought to you by BetterResultsAdvertising.com. A motorcyclist who was arrested following a high-speed chase told police he was trying to show off for his female passenger who was with him on their first date, and he was trying to outrun the police.
Oh, he's so romantic.
22-year-old Taylor Beverly ran through a red light. That's what started things, driving a white Suzuki motorcycle with a female passenger on the back. And she made eye contact with the police as they were racing away. She's looking at them very concerned like,
please help me.
Was going over 100 miles per hour at one point, weaving in and out of traffic, going through multiple red lights. When he finally was taken into custody, he said he was just trying to show off for his date. By the way, the date, not impressed.
Some girls just can't be impressed.
Yeah,
what more could he have done?
She said she was screaming at him the entire time to stop, but he refused. This was their first date. I'm guessing last
Probably their
date as well.
last.
Just a guess. That is today's moment of duh.
Early to bed, early to rise makes you healthy, wealthy, and wise. This is a great quote from Benjamin Franklin. At InsuranceChicken.com, we know a thing or two about great quotes. We help people get great insurance quotes every day. It's super simple and free to find out if we can make you healthy, wealthy, and wise. Okay, I can't guarantee that, but I can assure you we'd love to help at InsuranceChicken.com. We want to help you peck out great deals on insurance. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Time now for Is It a Golf Course or Is It a Rehab Center? Brought to you by TimeForRehab.com. Are you ready for this one, Heidi?
I'm ready.
All right. How have you been doing so far on this? Have you been getting right?
No.
Okay. Well, we'll see if you can maybe shake that today. Green Mountain, Effingham, New Hampshire. Green Mountain. Is it a golf course or is it a rehab center?
Golf course.
Green Mountain is a rehab center.
Of course
So
it is.
today was not your day either. And here I was
I
thinking,
haven't had much luck.
I was thinking September was going to be your month,
No.
but apparently it was not your month. All right, that is how we play. Is it a golf course or is it a rehab center? Brought to you by TimeForRehab.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. This ain't just good news, Heidi. This is great news. I love, love, love this story.
Okay.
I love it so much, I just want to gobble it up with a spoon. It's just so great.
Okay.
I'm going to read it nice and slow. Here we go. Here's the headline. World War II veteran, who's 95 years young, meets the writer of a letter that he has carried with him now for 12 years.
Oh.
And it gets even better, because right there, that's
I
already
love it
pretty cool.
already.
But Frank Grasberg says he's carried this letter with him since 2009. He has it with him everywhere he goes. It was written by a third grader. He said, I'd never be without it because it's something that somebody thought of me that much. So when he had this letter given to him, he has a feeling of faith and trust and love, his wife Dolores said. The letter was written by a young lady who, again, was a third grader at the time, but she's 21 now. Dashana Priest says, if it wasn't for you, we would never have the freedom that we have. I'm so happy you made sacrifices. Your friend, Dashana Priest, the letter says. Here's the coolest thing about that third grader. She's grown up a little bit. She's 21.
I saw her picture.
Did you see her picture?
I did.
She's
I know what
wearing a
you're gonna
military
say.
uniform,
Yep.
and she followed in his footsteps. How cool is that?
Very cool.
Says we never could find her. He says, before I close my eyes, I have to find her. I have to find her. And he was surprised last month, wearing her National Guard uniform. She walked in and said hello. Says, you cannot imagine the feeling I had when she stood next to me. It took my breath away. It really did, Frank said. Dashana said, Frank is now family. There's love deep down in the heart. She's like my third daughter, he says. It started with a lot of love and affection, and it's going to end the same way.
Aww.
Isn't that great?
Isn't that so sweet?
I just love that. And
I do
he's got
too.
this letter that he's carried with him. It is amazing how much a simple act of something like that, writing a little letter and giving it to a veteran, what that can do for that person. Unbelievable.
Yeah. It's
Unbelievable.
beautiful.
And there are so many people who do absolutely appreciate sacrifices that are made by people. Let them know. Tell them thank you. And if you want, write a letter like this. How amazing. What a cool story. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. I have a link to that story in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.